All you know is all a lie, all caught up in paradise, running away from everything real, everything that hurts to feel.
This is the feeder that I'm going to be using today. It's a 4-ounce feeder because there's extra water on the Ribble today. And inside that feeder I've packed all those little pellets, and at each end I've just plugged it with some trout paste and fish meal mix that I mixed together with river water, and that is perfect. Little bait sandwich for the barbel. A 4.5 foot long stretch of braid. At the very end of that braid I've just stripped it off, stripped all the coating off it, and what you don't see there is a size 8 very sharp hook, which I've got her rigged on, one of those little 8mm little pellets. And what I've done is I've made some paste with the same mix that I'm using to clog the feeder, and I've just squeezed that on right round the hook and also around the bait, so as soon as that gets into the water that's going to start leaking off and attracting the barbel. This is really good, especially if there's a lot of weed in the river, which there is today, because it has been very dry. We've had a little bit of rain and the river's come up, so I'm expecting a lot of weed to be swept down, and that's going to give it that added bit of protection just till it gets down to the bottom, and it should be sitting nice and sweet, ready for a nice big barbel to come along and take it. Well, I'm sat down here and it's a really nice night. It's quite mild. I'd say it's about 17 degrees. It's very grey and overcast today. There's extra flow in the water. Everything looks good for the barbel. And I feel very privileged. I'm sat down here and I've got the whole place to myself. There's nobody on the opposite bank, and there's no anglers on this bank. It's just me and wildlife. It's wonderful. All the wee birds are just going to sleep. They're just perching in the trees, and a lot of fly life around tonight, so no doubt I'm going to see a few pipistrelle bats soon. So, oh, there, what's that? There we go. As I said that, a pipistrelle just went past. It can be a bit of a pain, the old bats, because the flies like to eat us humans. They hang around me, they love eating me, and the bats, they tune in to where the flies are, and they use echolocation to find their prey, and they send out little noises, a bit like what dolphins do in the sea, and they home in on the flies, and they usually hit your line and you think you're getting taps. So it's all part of the fun. It's a slight breeze as well today. The water's quite brown. It's beautiful. I haven't seen anybody down here at all. Just silence. All I can hear in the background is the weir, the water rushing over. I always gauge if I can hear water coming over that weir from where I'm fishing now, and it's quite audible, I'm going to catch a barbel. The barbel seem to just like the extra flow on this peg. Being early season, they've been spawning. They were spawning last week. It was down, further down, past the tickle trout there last week, and I waded out on some bedrock and I found a gully, and I could see scores and scores of barbel, and I've never seen this before. It was wonderful. They were turning on their sides like trout when the trout lay their eggs on the gravel, and they were in groups of 4 and 5, and there was double figure barbel there, and I had luncheon meat and I was touch ledgering, and I was just dropping the meat in amongst the barbel, and the first time I dropped it in, a barbel did pick it up and just blow it back, and that's the only action I got. They just were not interested in feeding. So it was quite shallow, and the water was crystal clear, and the last 2 days we've had a bit of rain, so that's good news. Hopefully the barbel will finish their spawn, they'll be very hungry, and they'll have dispersed throughout the river. I haven't had any little touches yet. Rod's been out about 20 minutes, and usually that's also a good sign, because every time I go barbel fishing I don't get any knocks, That indicates that there's no chub in the swim, and that's a good sign as well, because usually the chub will find the bait before the barbel will. So far so good. It just feels like barbel. It's just one of those magic nights. So I've got one big beefy rod on, 10-pound line, 15-pound braid, hook length. The only thing I have done is I've scaled down the bait to a little 8mm pellet. The barbel won't be used to feeding off the pellets because we've just had the close season, so I've scaled right down. And to me, them 8mm pellets look like little water snails. I think I might have a wee roach or a wee chub on that. Got a little dace there. I knew something small was on there. First dace of the season. Beautiful. Isn't that just a magnificent fish? It weighs 4 pound and 13 ounces. It's a lovely chub. It's my biggest one of the season. And this chub actually weighs the same weight as my biggest bream this season. 4 pound and 13 ounces. Cleaner. Big long fish. This fish, when it's full of spawn, will be well over 5 pound. Well over 5 pound. Full of spawn. It's hollowed out. Big long fish. Big bulky head on it. And look at the size of that mouth. Very welcome. If I catch more of these, I'll be a happy angler. That's just beautiful. Just slip her back into the river. Happy days. And there you have another chub. Lovely fish. Great fun to catch. Let's slip her back. It's either a bream or a chub. Good chance it's a bream. There you go. A lovely big river ribble bream. Beautiful fish. I'm having a great night tonight.
Sandy shoes I never knew. The one I loved would be you. Perfection never had a name. The distance drives my heart insane.
Yes! Beautiful. Look at the big barbules. This is where it gets its name. The big barbules on the front, hanging down like whiskers. Shaped like a torpedo. Big powerful tail. Absolutely made up with this fish. And it's a ribble barbel. Gorgeous.
Match your eyes with the sky.
This is a barbel. It is a cracker. I'm definitely weighing this one. Happy days.
Running away from everything real, everything that hurts to feel.
Now that's a fish. That is a fish. Oh yes. This is why we come to the River Ribble, for magnificent big beasts like this. Absolutely gorgeous. Right, I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to get it weighed and get it straight back into the river, because this one's going to live to fight another day and make some other angler a very happy man. Happy days. Let's get it weighed quickly. Well, you couldn't have writ this. It's exactly £10. Exactly £10 on the nose. That's wonderful. It's a double. Look at the size of the paddles. Unbelievable. That's a lovely big, thick, heavy set fish. Look at that. Right, let's get this straight back into the Ribble.
All you do is all routine, a careful schedule meant to clean.
Well, I'm going to call this beautiful bream the last fish of the night. I've had an absolutely fantastic red letter day, really. I've had so many fish and different species as well. Isn't that just a gorgeous fish? That's gorgeous. Time to slip this one back and we're going to call it a night. So thanks for watching the video, and please don't forget to subscribe.